Hello, Cupcakes, and welcome to another edition of Cupcakes Comic Reviews with me, Lohit. And today's episode, we take a look of all the new books I got this week, and yeah, we'll flip through them, and so that you get an idea of what the story is about and how the artwork looks like. So, without further ado, we have a big list today, and starting with Conan the Barbarian by Mitra. So this is issue 22 of Conan the Barbarian. I've shown a bunch of these like before. This is an ongoing series, obviously written by Jim Zub, and art is by Dagnino. So they've changed the artists a couple of times. So it was Rob Della Torre, who's the main artist, and then you have Doug Braithwaite, who came in and did a couple of the issues. But again, they want to give Rob a break, so they have all these fill-in artists. But all these fill-in artists also do such a great job that it doesn't feel like you're missing out on the main artist, or doesn't feel jarring or janky. So yeah, so this is again Conan fighting gods and monsters, romancing princesses, ancient gods and warlords. So yeah, totally up my jam. And yeah, the art still looks sublime. And of course, Jim Zub has written every single issue of this, and I am a massive Jim Zub fan. And yeah, carrying on the tradition of Conan. So on issue 22, I think Jim Zub told me in person that he had plans to do 50 issues or something. So someday you might get a nice hardcover omnibus for it. Who knows? So, but yeah, that's Conan the Barbarian for you. The next book is Transformers 22. Also another book which reaches 22 issues. And after 24 issues, these guys will change that's a Jorge Corona cover, who's also the artist in this one. So yeah, this one is Daniel Warren Johnson and then Jorge Corona. Everybody said a lot of things about it. This is a book where Transformers just fight each other. They fight Decepticons. It's got a good story at heart, but it's basically robots clashing in space, giving each other German suplexes. That's what this book is about. And yeah, curious to check this out, this latest iteration of Transformers, man. And yeah, then I think 25 onwards, I guess, Robert Kirkman takes out. And then hopefully there is a good collected edition of Transformers as well. And Daniel Warren Johnson is probably the hottest thing in comics since comics. So there you go. And then yeah, his story and Jorge Corona's artwork is sublime. And I hope that Robert Kirkman also, takes this thing forward with the same momentum and the same energy as we have with Daniel Warren Johnson. So that's about Transformers issue 22. Next one is The New History of DC Universe by Mark Waid, and this cover by Scott Koblish. So this is a wraparound cover which basically has all the DC characters, and this is a New History of the DC Universe issue 1. So there will be 4 of these issues. So it's a retelling of everything that happened in the DC Universe ever since the Golden Age, right to Bronze Age, Silver Age, and even now the modern age, right? So this is amazing. And that's basically, I think, the car that Superman lifts on Action Comics 1, and it's got Plastic Man wrapped around him. That's Dr. Fate, and that's amazing. The old school Superman, old school Batman and Robin. So yeah, this is amazing. There's Liberty Bell, and and there are 4 of these, and I am getting all these 4 connecting variants of all these Scott Koblish covers. So in the end of the day, I'll have 4 of these all together like a big painting, and that's going to be amazing. But anyway, the internal artwork is, I don't think who's doing the internal artwork on this, I guess, does it say here? The internal artwork is sublime. So again, you have Morpheus and the Endless here, along with Anti-Monitor, the Monitor, Perpetua, and that's a Spectre. So yeah, I don't know who this dude is. Maybe I do. But then this is the Anti-Monitor, that's Perpetua. This is the Monitor, then Destiny and Morpheus and probably Death. This is amazing, man. Manhunters and the Guardians. So yeah, it's always good to catch up on the DC Universe and the DC Universe history, man. Because yeah, who's that? Eclipso. There you go. The Amazons. So yeah, it's a retelling, and I think this is Todd Knock. Who does the artwork, man? I know Mark Waid is the writer for this. For the credit, I think it's Todd Knock. I'm pretty sure it is. It is written by Todd Knock. I'm surprised they didn't give a credit. So you see, there is the comic book portion of it, which goes like a story, and then it switches on to these character bio stuff as well. It's This is the appendix where you have like what happened and which year did it take place. So when did Starman came, when did Alan Scott become the Green Lantern, and all of that. So juicy stuff. Wraparound cover, Scott Koblish, Mark Waid, and this is amazing. Yeah, it's Tarnock. I was right. So there you go. And if you like the wraparound cover from DC, you're gonna love that wraparound cover from Marvel. This is Marvel Swimsuit Special. She-Hulk, Mary Jane, Black Widow, Rogue, and Captain Marvel. So yeah, again, these are not all. So I didn't visit my shop the week before and the week before because I just had like 1 or 2 books. So this is like, you know, an amalgamation of all the 3 books. I think this came out last week, but yeah, look at this, man. This is amazing. And I've heard good things that this thing actually has a story. It's not about just about the assets, you know, because everything assets are important. But then there is a decent story too. So, you know, yeah, hopefully it's good. That's Titania. So yeah, there is the Roxxon Corporation. I've heard that it's a very breaking the fourth wall kind of story where like Roxxon Corporation owns Marvel Comics in the Marvel universe, and they decide to like launch a swimsuit special of their own. And then all these Marvel heroes decide like, okay, no, we need to do our own thing, and they can't own like, you know, our likeness and stuff. And it's very meta commentary. But then yeah, I basically bought it for the cover. I hope I get a good story too. So yeah, these are fun issues. These are one and dones. So yeah, hopefully curious to check out. What is it called? Friends, Foes, and Rivals. There you go. Okay, the next one is another Marvel book. This is the Fantastic Four prequel comic from the movie. So, you know, as this is a rendition of the Jack Kirby Stanley issue 1 of Fantastic Four, just with the new characters. So Giganto is there, and they also made a burger ad for this. You can catch it online. But basically, what this is like, you know, and it's a prequel comic. So before the movie, whatever happens with the Fantastic Four, how did they get their powers and stuff, and it's got all these 60s ads too. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, because it's set in a retro futuristic era. So I like the detailing. I like Fantastic Four, and I can't wait for the movie. Hopefully I get the popcorn bucket too, so I can do a review. But yeah, this is Fantastic Four First Steps, and yeah, let's hope, and hopefully like this is good. I don't know the creative team on this, but yeah, I just wanted to like, you know, it says Future Foundation, so yeah, I think maybe that plays a big part in the movie. But I like the fact that the characters look like the characters, so the Thing looks like the Thing, and Sue Storm looks like Sue, and there's Mole Man. So yeah, what's not to like, man? So there you go, Fantastic Four First Steps prequel comic. And then you got Fantastic Four issue 1, the actual comic. So this is like a continuation of the Ryan North Fantastic Four series. This is a gorgeous Alex Ross cover with Galactus, and this is not exactly a number 1. So he's written like 24, 25 of these, and again, Marvel renumbers these things so that, you know, it creates like a jumping on point for new viewers and new readers. I don't know, it's okay. But the stories are good. Most of the original run, like the first run from Ryan North, was like one and done stories. So you can pick up any of those issues and like, you know, you'll get a great Fantastic Four story. That's just how the old Marvel comics were when in the 1960s when they originally launched. They had like singular issues. They did have an overarching theme which went into the next issue or something, but you would get like a one and done good story. So yeah, so this is again Ryan North Fantastic Four. I've been digging this, you know, so I haven't like super dug Humberto Ramos on artwork, so that's definitely like, you know, a change in the artist. I did read the previous issues, and they were good. They were like, you know, like One World Under Doom, I did not vibe with it that much. You know, it started off well with like Doctor Strange, with Doom taking over the mantle of Doctor Strange, becoming the Sorcerer Supreme. But yeah, it didn't kind of land, you know, somewhere it kind of lost track. And then this is like, again, a retelling. So basically what happens is, again, Fantastic Four battles Doom, and because of timey-wimey stuff, they all get sent into like different time eras. So like Johnny Storm goes into like a Paleozoic era, and Ben Grimm has to fight dinosaurs, so he goes into a dinosaur era. So yeah, it's got an interesting premise, and it is an issue 1, and it's got Humberto Ramos artwork, and it's got Alex Ross on the cover. And Ryan North, yeah, I've met him in person. He seems to be a very nice guy, Canadian. So yeah, hopefully, you know, he does something great with this book too. So there you go. Fantastic Four for you. Okay, let's jump back to DC, and then you've got The New Gods by Ramvi and Evan Cagle. This is an amazing series. This is probably it's so metaphysical, and it's got so many multiversal concepts, and now they've thrown in the Justice League too. Black Smoke Rising. So yeah, this is amazing. It's fantastic. Oh, Mr. Terrific is here. He was in the movie. He's popular now. People know who he is. Thank God, James Gunn. And then so yeah, this is again, like I said, there is a baby who's born, Lois Lane, who's born, and then he supposedly, he could be an evil baby or he's a good baby. Nobody knows. But the New Gods are set out to destroy him. There's also a cult, an evil cult of other dark gods who have taken over the New Gods planet, and then they've destroyed it, and the New Gods are forced to take exile on Earth. So they're dealing with that. So all the New Gods are on Earth now, and yeah, so they've taken help of the Justice League in order to combat it. And there is the thing with the kid, like, is he a good kid? Is he a bad kid? Like, will he turn evil and destroy everything? So artwork wise, this is solid. Evan Cagle is like a 10 on 10 artist, and story wise, Rambi has delivered something really excellent, like some things like a Silmarillion, like J.R.R. Tolkien's book. And yeah, so it's a very good read. Check it out whenever it's collected in a trade or something. I think it'll read very good as a trade or a hardcover. So I don't know how long this will go. It's an ongoing. Right now we are on issue number 8. I think it's a 12 issue series, but I could be wrong on that, because he's doing such a good job, such a fantastic job. I don't want this to end. Like, this is one of the best DC books out there. So check out New Gods if you haven't. Okay, this is going to be a long one because we've got Absolute Batman fighting Bane. So this is Absolute Batman issue number 10. Snyder and Nick Dragotta on the artwork. So yeah, these guys are killing it, man. They've taken an approach of an Image comic and inducing that into a DC comic. So so this is awesome. And the artwork and everything on this book is like super awesome. I've heard that in this book, Batman is fighting Bane, and then apparently there's a scene where he uses his shit and makes it into a bomb, because that's something Batman would do. So again, he takes his shit, his body, and turns it into a fertilizer bomb and uses it against Bane. This is awesome. It's it's like over the top comics, and the design of Batman is amazing. I have been a Nick Dragotta fan since his Ghost Cage days, and I own all the 3 issues. That was my pick of the week for the year 2023. So I have been Nick Dragotta is amazing. I've read East or West and everything he's involved in, and Scott Snyder is delivering the goods on this. This is also probably one of the top selling books of the previous months. So if you've still not checked out Absolute Batman, dive in, get the trade. I think all the trades are out. So, dive into it. It's an amazing, amazing comic book. Okay, next we go back to Image Comics. Finally, there's an Image book here, and that's G.I. Joe. What is this, issue 10? Oh, issue 9. Okay, so this is again Joshua Williamson and Andrea Molina on the artwork, and this is a Baroness and cover girl centric story. So Baroness wants to take some time off, and she wants to visit her parents in Paris, and then Major Blood shows up, and there's all sorts of nonsense, and cover girl is accompanying her, and they both have to fight the forces of Blood. So super curious to check this out. And there's also Riptor, who Blood has hired in order to take them down. So there's going to be a battle. It starts with a nice fight sequence, and that's what I like about G.I. Joe, man. Real American hero. Da-da-da-da-da. Okay, next one is Robert Kirkman, Ryan Ottley, Invincible Battle Beast issue 3. So Battle Beast is as you know, a character from the Invincible universe. He didn't get like a lot of screen time in Invincible, but then he's a fan favorite. So they gave him his own solo series. Battle Beast is the tale of Battle Beast is like he's like the ultimate most badass warrior, but now he wants to find that foe, the ultimate foe, who challenges him, and he's on a spaceship with a supercomputer who's trying to find all these opponents for him, whom he gets to fight, and then he hopes that one of them can kill him in the end, because he's tired of his life, he's tired of being himself, and he just wants death. He desires death at this end. So this is an amazing book. And it's a very simple book. It's a simple concept executed like really well. grand fight sequences, Ryan Otley artwork, Kirkman writing, and this is fabulous. If you're not reading this, this is probably the easiest gateway comics to get you into comics, because it doesn't have too much dialogue. It's got great artwork and it's got action-packed stories. So, and the paneling is tight and the story is tough. So, and I've met Ryan Otley. I have an Invincible issue signed by Ryan Otley. These guys are like top of their game. Like, enough said. Like, I can't even praise this book anymore. Look at that. Look at the cover. It's a cardstock cover for $3.99. Amazing value for money. So he's basically floating in space with his blood with this massive axe. That is just amazing. So yeah, if you're anyone who likes Invincible Universe, if you're anyone who likes Robert Kirkman, Ryan Otley, you got to check this out. Okay, next one is an amazing book. It's the hottest cover of the week probably. That is Herculoids. What is that? It's a one-eyed monster. It's a wiener. It's all those jokes from Austin Powers movies. You remember. So there you go. This was such a ridiculous and sexy cover. Like, just had to have it. And it's by John Linsner. And I read the first issue of Herculoids. I am familiar with the cartoon. I used to watch it as a kid on Cartoon Network with the Hanna-Barbera shows. And Dynamite has done a pretty decent job of adapting all these things into comics. But this cover was, just gets you. Sometimes you just have to do cover buys because they just get you. So Space Ghost is probably the best of these Hanna-Barbera shows. Captain Planet has been pretty good, but there are a lot of delays on Captain Planet, so I kind of they say issue number 5. I think I only read issue number 1. I never got to issue number 2 because Dynamite had issues with Penguin and Diamond, not Penguin, with Diamond distribution. They left Diamond, they went to Lunar, so I don't think I ever got to go to like Captain Planet issue 2. But David Pepose is a fantastic writer. He's doing both Space Ghost and Captain Planet. And these are probably the best of these Hanna-Barbera things they've done. So they've done Thundercats, they've done Space Ghost, they've done Captain Planet, they're doing Johnny Quest. They're also doing Space Quest, which is like a combination of Space Ghost and Johnny Quest. But yeah. So yeah, Herculoids, man, they're just on a different planet. They've got these... It's basically this guy, and their son, I guess, and they've got all these creatures, and these alien warlords try to attack. It's a very simple concept, and the cartoon was also very simple, and they just have to defend their planet. It's kind of like Avatar, wherein these evil people attack this planet full of nature and wildlife, and then they send their automatons, and these guys have to fight it. So if you haven't checked out Herculoids, check it out. It is written by Tom Sningowski. And yeah, there's great artwork by Rousseau. So check it out. Herculoids was pretty cool, and it's just a fun book at the end, and that's what you need comics to be. And the cover, man, this is the cover of the week. Stare at her. I'm not making any gestures. That wasn't me. Okay, moving on. The next one is Justice League and versus Godzilla versus Kong issue 2. So I just read, this is again by Brian Buciliato, who did Injustice, the second part of Injustice after Tom Taylor. And he has done a couple of other things also, like Chicken Devil, which is phenomenal. If you haven't read Chicken Devil, you have to. And then, but this is the second edition of Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong. So the first one, I read it, I bought it in singles, and I reread it as a hardcover recently because I like the story and I like Godzilla and Kong battling the Justice League. This is the second issue of the second series, right? So this time they have they have the Rogues involved, they have the Suicide Squad involved. So you've got Peacemaker, you've got Harley Quinn, you've got Captain Cold, and a couple of other people involved, along with Amanda Waller, who wants to basically go to the Monsterverse and seek out their power and use it against the Justice League. So that's the premise of it. And yeah, and you have like people traversing multiverses and fighting monsters. So big battle monster pieces and pretty decent story with the Justice League. Why would you not want it? This is amazing, man. You should totally check this out. And yeah, Brian Buciliato, man, he's a good writer. So he's a fun writer, and that's what sometimes you need, just fun. Okay, the next book is, again, this is from last week, I guess. So this is Captain America by Valerio Schiti and Chip Zdarsky. So this is Chip Zdarsky's take on Captain America. I haven't bought a Captain America book in a long time. I did not vibe with the Colin Kelly Jackson Lansing stuff. I did not vibe with the J. Michael Straczynski stuff. I've read a couple of issues of that. I mean, but then, yeah, this is again a new edition. So my favorite Captain America run has been the Ed Brubaker one, because that kind of brought me to the character when it released, and the Winter Soldier and all of that stuff. And when Bucky becomes Captain America and Captain America Reborn and lives, all of that stuff was gold to me. But I've read some of the Captain America in the past, like Mark Gruenwald's Captain America was amazing, but he's not a character like I like the character because of the movies and everything, but he doesn't sell comic books. So I hope this one is gangbusters, and this is a great read because Zdarsky's on it now, and Zdarsky, when he cooks, he can really cook. So I hope that there's no editorial interference on this, and then Zdarsky gets to do what he wants to do and make this character awesome. So yeah, and he deserves to be awesome. So the aesthetic and the look is pretty good. I have heard that this is set in the time when he wakes up, when he's frozen and he wakes up and he's still trying to adjust to the new world and the world which has moved on. So yeah, he's a man out of time, and I think he's focusing on that. So that gives me some hope. So yeah, artwork, Valerio Shitty is amazing. So hopefully this is good and awesome, man. So there you go. Then you have some collected editions, but before that, we've got the Savage Sword of Conan. So this is the long form book. So it's very taller and larger as compared to your regular single issue. This is Savage Sword of Conan. It's black and white artwork, but sublime artwork by Patrick Zurcher, man. Patrick Zurcher is doing the Solomon Kane. Look at this art. This artwork is phenomenal. The pencil work, the color work. Oops, I shouldn't show that. So yeah, there you go. There you go. Anyway, so yeah, it is amazingly detailed artwork, and if you see Zurcher's name anywhere on any book, pick it up, because Zurcher is an amazing artist, and he's probably one of the best artists in this black and white format I like, and he's awesome. So you get some Zurcher stories and you get some other stories also. There's Fabian Nicieza? Fabian Nicieza is writing Savage Sword of Conan. That's amazing, man. That is really awesome. So yeah, as you can see, there are like 3 stories. There is a King Kull story, there is a Conan and Valeria story, and there are some pinups of Kull by Jeff Isherwood and Valerio Giordano. So yeah, but yeah, the reason to pick this up is obviously Conan, and then also Patrick Zurcher, and this is amazing, man. So yeah, Savage Sword of Conan, awesome, amazing book. Pulp fantasy, if that's your jam, pick this up. I have all of these, and this was my read of the year for 2024 because it is so good. And magazine format too, and only 6.99, so bang for your buck. You get 80 pages for 6.99. All right, to wrap up with, let's just take a quickly look at some collected editions which I got. So the first one is obviously Grommets. So Grommets is a book, it's a slice of life book by Brian Posehn and Rick Remender. I wanted to collect this in singles, but I think I missed the first printing of the issue 1, and then I just never got it. So I got it finally in a trade paperback. So again, this is a slice of life book about kids growing up in the 80s, and all the 80s colloquial references. So everybody who grew up in the 80s probably will kind of associate with it, because there were no internet at that time, there were no cell phones, there's no Instagram, so people were on skateboards, and it's about a bunch of skateboarding kids just navigating the world. So this is amazing. So yeah, curious to check this out. So Grommets is one. Then I bought this Blast from the Past Asterix book. It's a hardcover book. So they're collecting 3 stories of these long Asterix in these hardcovers. They call it like the Omnibus edition, and this is Omnibus 6. But this contains some of my favorite Asterix stories, so Mansions of the Gods and Asterix in Switzerland and the Laurel West. So this is your Goscinny and Uderzo old school books. I have read all of these as a kid, but I don't know. I was on the stream with For the Love of Comics, and I kind of recently, and then he was ranking all of his Asterix titles, and he ranked this book as his top. So that gave me an opportunity to like revisit these books and revisit these characters. So Asterix, Obelix, Vital Statistics, Impedimenta, Getafix, Cacophonics and Hygienics, so Dogmatics. So yeah, it's good to see so Asterix is one of the probably the first books I read, first English comics I read as a kid, and I've ever been a big fan. So yeah, these are the old school books with Cosini and Uderzo doing the art and the writing. And yeah, these are like really these are really good. So I've heard that they're a bit dated now. I mean, some of the cultural references are not appropriate, but then yeah, still, man. At the time, I never thought of it like that. It was just a book for me and to have fun with, you know. So yeah, that's Asterix and Obelix for you. The omnibus. And the last but not the least is the mega book. So this is Local Man. So Local Man is is a story by Tony. This is the hardcover edition. So this collects like issues 1 to 13, and then issue 25 and Local Man Bad Girls. So it's the first probably 2 trades of Local Man. But I wanted to reread this book because I really like it. I really dug it. The artwork is sublime, Tony Fleece's artwork, and Tim Seeley's story is also pretty good. And it reminds me of those 90s Image comics like Youngblood and stuff. So the basic premise of Local Man is there is this guy, Jack Saber. He used to be in this team which is basically like a Youngblood kind of a team from Image Comics. And then for something happened. So now he's a pariah, he's being kicked out of the team, and he comes back to his small town of Farmington, and but he still has like, you know, good in him. Like he still wants to be a superhero. So he dresses up in like a mask, and he has a dog with him, and he basically takes his bow and arrow, and he basically becomes a vigilante. And a lot more happens than that. So part of this book is done in like regular comic style, and part of it is sketched by Tony Fleeces in the 90s comic style. So it's a really good book. You know, if you dig something like alternative storytelling, it's nothing like ever done before in comics. So it's a really original story and original artwork. So I would suggest you check out Local Man. And already this is a long video, so you know, I'll stop here. And yeah, so that's what I bought, that's what I checked out. What did you buy? If you have any questions on any of these books, please let me know. Other than that, yeah, take care of yourselves, guys. Thanks for joining.